Gamers are getting scammed. We're paying $70, $80, even $100 for games that launch broken, unfinished, and bloated with microtransactions. But then along comes Silksong, a $20 indie game that completely blows them out of the water. This one game just proved everything AAA has been selling us is a lie. First, a little history. In February of 2017, Team Cherry dropped Hollow Knight. Outside of a small Kickstarter, this was a grassroots movement, but they felt a lot of pushback from the community. In an age of Metroidvania games, many expected it was gonna be another flop, chasing trends. When it did finally come out though, it ended up an instant cult classic. The small community they had was loyal and they loved what they had. They talked about it, the word of mouth spread, streamers picked up the game, it saw a broader audience. Ultimately, in 2018, when it was advertised at a Nintendo Direct, blasted across millions of people's screens, and against all odds seemingly became one of the most well-known indie games overnight. Hollow Knight's success gave Team Cherry something rare in the indie space: time. Instead of rushing to catch in, they doubled down on their content strategy. The original plan was simple: release DLC, including a Hornet DLC expansion. But the deeper they went, the more ambitious it became. Before they knew it, the little DLC had outgrown Hollow Knight itself. Team Cherry made the call. This wasn't an add-on anymore. This was a full-on sequel. That's when Silksong was born. From the start, it promised more of everything: 150 new enemies, brand new movement mechanics, a full quest system, and an entirely new kingdom to explore. But here's the crazy part. While most studios tease, update, and overhype, Team Cherry went quiet. No gimmicks, no constant trailers, no fake deadlines, just silence. And that silence turned into fuel. The longer the wait dragged on, the more anticipation grew. And it wasn't just hype anymore, it became something more. Silksong stopped being just a game and turned into an event that everyone was waiting for. And what if that's the secret? Turning people's patience into power. Because forget billions of dollars, forget the giant studios, forget the flashy marketing. What really wins at the end of the day? And I think that's the trust of your players, the vision to build something that's going to last, the bravery to take your time while you do it. If you've made it this far, you're probably just as fascinated by Silksong as I am. So let me throw it back to you. Do you think the wait made this game legendary? Or was Team Cherry always destined to deliver? Drop your take in the comments. I'll be reading through them. Now here's where things get wild, because Silksong didn't just live up to the hype. It completely shattered expectations. On release day, the game pulled in over 500,000 players at once just on Steam. So many purchases that it literally crashed Steam, the Nintendo eShop, and the PlayStation Store. That's a level of demand that most billion-dollar studios wish they could buy. And it came from 3 devs in Adelaide, Australia. To put this into perspective for you, when Hollow Knight dropped back in 2017, it peaked at just 812 players. Silksong is nearly 700 times bigger than that. That's not a sequel. That's a visible shift in expectation from the player base. And here's the kicker. It launched at just $20, while AAA studios charged the $70, $80, even $100 for their broken launches, premium editions, and unfinished content. Team Cherry delivered a stunning masterpiece for less than a night out, and it's rattled the indie scene too. Other developers are already worrying that Silksong's going to raise the expectations too high, making players wonder why every indie can't hit the same standard of scope, polish, and price. That means Silksong isn't just raising the bar, it's resetting it. Indies now have a new gold standard to chase, and AAA has one less excuse for bloated costs and delays. So here's the real question, guys. If 3 people can shake the whole industry at $20 a copy for their game, what excuse do the giants have? A $20 price tag isn't just generous, it's a statement, and the tables have turned. In a market drowning in these $70 cash grabs, Silksong comes out swinging at less than a third of the price, yet still feels more complete than most AAA games. That's why players are thrilled. They don't see this as a problem. They see this as proof that the industry's excuses are just that, excuses. If 3 people in Adelaide, Australia can deliver a game of this scale, polish, and artistry for $20, why can't a billion-dollar publisher do the same thing at $60? The truth is, AAA studios have the money. Budgets now balloon into the hundreds of millions, but that cash buys bloat, delays, and heartbreak, not magic. They could deliver a masterpiece for $20. They just don't. Silksong's success isn't raising unfair expectations. It's exposing how low the bar has been set by the giants. It's proof players don't have to settle for expensive trash when true craftsmanship exists. That is why Silksong isn't just an indie victory. It is a wake-up call. So what do you think? Is this the start of a new era for indie games? Or is Team Cherry just built different? Drop your thoughts below. And if you're into deep dives like this, hit subscribe because we're just getting started.